Aloha and welcome to Reiki Riches Full Moon Spotlight. My intention with this series is to showcase the unity in diversity of Reiki practitioners and the ways Reiki is related to celebrate the richness of the Reiki community and the innumerable ways Reiki enriches our human lives on earth right here and right now. To spotlight the ways Reiki offers creative solutions to uplift the totality of the earth and far, far beyond. Today's Reiki Riches Full Moon Spotlight is featuring Misty Chatterjee. She is a naturally gifted intuitive who brings creativity, humor, and an integrative approach to the world of energy and Reiki. Immersed in the world of art and graphic design for the past 24 years, Misty loves to combine her passion for art and Feng Shui with her spiritual path of Reiki and crystal healing. Misty is a Holy Fire 3 World Peace Karuna Reiki Master, ICRT Animal Reiki Practitioner, affiliate member of the Reiki Membership Association, and is certified by the Crystal Foundation. She gives distant and remote Reiki and crystal healing sessions and teaches Reiki classes online. Misty offers a powerful yet gentle technique that combines Reiki and Feng Shui to guide conscious individuals to embody their authenticity and inner authority in their daily lives. She passionately empowers her students and clients to bloom fully and truly become their own hero in their own journey. Misty envisions a future in which every household on earth includes at least one Reiki person. Imagine how that will uplift the energy of the collective. Misty works out of her home from the beautiful and sunny City of Angels, California. Mom to 2 boys, 1 dog, and 1 husband. On a personal note, I have been working in one-on-one sessions, exchanging the most powerful, unbelievable, magical Reiki sessions with Misty the past several months. And I am so very grateful today to introduce her to all of you and spotlight the immense talent and sparkle of her soul. I am blessed to call her a gifted colleague as well as a dear, dear, dear soul friend.
When I signed up, I had no idea what I was getting into, literally. I went in with the mindset that, my first biggest intention was that I will receive this Reiki training, I will get my attunement, and I will, if I practice regularly, maybe in 6 months' time or so, maybe I'll be able to send some distant Reiki to my parents who live really far away. And that was my sole goal. And then I had no idea that on day 2 of our class, while still in class, while we're practicing sending and receiving Reiki with another student, that I would actually be able to send wherein the other person would actually receive it and feel it and be able to give me that feedback that, oh my God, I felt that, which lined up with, she felt it where I was sending it. I was sending it to her head, her crown area, and she said my crown area was feeling all. I'm like, oh my gosh. So that was immediate validation, immediate feedback that I was doing it. And that was day 2. We hadn't even finished the class yet. Imagine with everyday daily practice for a few weeks, what that can do. And that's what I discovered. I saw the progression of my energy and how powerful and bigger it got with every self Reiki session, with every session I did for someone else, with all the practice. And literally the first year, I would say out of 365 days of the year, I did at least a self Reiki session 360 days of the year. I may have missed 5 days in the entire year for other things, for life, where I was traveling and I was tired. But and I didn't need to do it like a chore. It just came so easily. I wanted to. Like, I would switch off Netflix and say, "Go! Oh, I'm gonna go do a Reiki session." Netflix was boring now, and this was exciting. And it called me to it. I didn't need to do it as, oh, I have to get through my checklist or my daily bullet list to do it. It came naturally. And yes, I could send Reiki to my parents and so many others right away. I didn't need to wait 6 months. I had no idea what I could do with it. And as I practiced it every day, as I got deeper into the energy, I realized how much more I can do with this, how many more people I can help, and not just my family or not just my own self. It's meant to be shared. It's meant to be given and to everyone, so they may also feel the energy. And then those who feel called will feel called to come and be a part of it, and or even get attuned themselves if they should so choose to go further in, further deep. And it will truly call to you. It'll find you when you are ready, not when you think you're ready. It will just not happen, even if you have every intention to doing it. And I see that over and over again. I make these plans and decisions. I'm like, by this day, I'm going to do this. I'm going to sign up. I'm going to open my class. I'm going to set up 5 sessions. I could make all the plans I want to. It doesn't happen until the timing is just right. And it doesn't happen before that because you're probably not ready for it or it wasn't right. So I've learned to trust that and not fight it or not question it, more accurately, and just go with the flow and have full faith that the divine timing is right, not my timing. It is a message. I have a sticky note on my wall right here, and it says, not receiving is also a sign. When you get frustrated some days and you feel like you're trying so hard and doing everything right and releasing and reikiing and being open to receive, and you feel nothing much is moving, you feel stuck. Even that not moving or not hearing or not seeing is not because you're doing something wrong. That's also a sign that this is not the moment. It is the moment to just breathe, stay here. Moving forward or progress as we think progress should be, like some things should be happening constantly, isn't the only progress. Even just staying where we are is progress because we're not going backwards. We're resting, and that's okay. You're staying where you are and whatever progress you've made, and sometimes you just need to rest. And then when it's time again, you will move forward. We will. So I love that note for myself. I wanted to share that.
That's brilliant. Yeah, that's so powerful. I've been kind of having that realization too. I'm not terribly surprised to hear you're having it. But yeah, if something is not coming in that I want, and then something else is kind of attracting my focus, something else that's also important, it's like, oh, I just need to switch my focus into this area and then be more in the flow there. It's really more about where is the flow happening? And if it's not really coming in this space, maybe that's an invitation to do some extra self Reiki, be receiving, directly from that higher connection, and also to kind of change gears to some other area of life and reality that's really important. But also rest is so productive, and maybe nothing is getting done on the outside. There still is that increase in frequency that's happening with the rest and the self Reiki and the receiving of the divine and that higher connection that then will help facilitate that divine timing and that attraction of whatever it is that ultimately is very important to be receiving, of course. But yeah, it's so powerful. And again, that's very refreshing to hear and to have connections, be connecting with others who understand that, because it is, for today, here and now, that's a radical concept. That's radical to our conditioning.
And that exactly, that also speaks to those cultural conditioning that we are bombarded with since the day we were born, literally. I didn't think about this. I didn't know this concept. But believe me, it took some time even for me to be open to the idea and the concept that if I'm not go, 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 rush, 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 accomplishing 20 things each day, that does not mean I am not doing enough. It's removing those layers, that conditioning of you don't have to hustle every day of your life to be productive. Sometimes just sitting and breathing is what you do need to be able to be more productive in the near future. It's, what do you call it, bringing your energy together to, for something big that's coming up, that you're collecting the energy and saving it for something big instead of constantly using it all up on your day-to-day, everyday life, little chores, little things, and then not really accomplishing anything at the end of the day and feeling like have you ever felt that you feel like you did so many things, but at the end of the day, it didn't feel like much. It felt like, where did the day just go? What did I do today? I didn't get much done. And that's a sign that then, you were probably doing all the things that were not important or that were not aligned to what you need to be doing at that point. And you just expended all that energy, which is wasted now, in worrying or creating lists or trying really hard for something that you weren't feeling. But you felt you had to do it because of that conditioning that, I need to do this or else I'm wasting today. But it's not necessarily wasted if you didn't do that. So listening to those, the gut messages, listening to that inner voice is something that we are not taught to do as children. And it takes practice to even start paying attention to that, because 50 other thoughts creep in, hiding that. And then it all gets lost, and you think, which was the original thought that was the most important voice that I should pay attention to. And that takes practice. It's not going to happen overnight, even if you are fully on the path and want to. Let's hear your voice. It's like a muscle. You have to work it, you have to make it stronger, and then with daily practice, yes, absolutely, it's going to get louder and louder. But it's not going to happen even in 5 days or 10 days of any amount of Reiki. It has to become a way of life. It's not, I'm going to do this 30-day thing and then I'm done. It has to become part of your everyday existence. That's the normal way of becoming. And I think that's what Reiki energy so beautifully brings out within us, that it becomes part of our everyday living. It's not something you set aside a few minutes for. It becomes the norm. And as we practice Reiki every day, at least for me, I saw that happening as it released these layers. It this became natural. This came naturally. I didn't have to think about doing it. I didn't have to consciously make the effort to do it. I noticed that I'm automatically doing it. I'm paying attention every minute, even if I'm doing it as something as mundane as cooking or something, or my ears ringing. I never paid attention to those things before, those signs, the energy, flowing through my body, that shiver, that shiver of current that sometimes runs through your body. Pay attention to what you were doing at the time, or what were you thinking at that time, or what were you watching or planning, because that's a sign, that's your higher self trying to tell you something. Or my ear ringing. My ear's been ringing since a couple of years now, for on and off randomly, but it's not random. So now, last 1 year, I've started paying attention to what was that thought that was just passing through my head, or what was I trying to make a decision? And with practice, you'll realize and understand what the sign is. Was it a yes or a no, or was it a stop and wait and see, or was it a go full force ahead? So now I know the differences, and now I can tell kind of, it feels like a yes, or it feels like a not right now. So that's, each one's sign is going to be different. And so that's the practice of deciphering what it means for you. There is no one rule fits all. What's a yes for me may not be a yes for you. But simply even being aware of it creates such huge, tremendous shifts. Even just being aware of it, the concept that even just being aware of the block is in itself releasing the block already. We simply just need to be aware of it. And that's the practice, because we're not aware of most of the things that we need to release. It's so suppressed to protect us. Our brain suppressed it, hid it under layers and layers of life. So we don't have to deal with it, but just it coming to our conscious mind is the release. And then when you make a ritual or do some meditation to consciously release it, now it's become all the more powerful, and it's doing the work, and it's making that space now for something fabulous, something brighter to come in.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. Can you talk about some of any kind of blocks, limitations, beliefs, limiting beliefs or myths you had to overcome in order to even be open to your first Reiki experience, your first Reiki training?
Lucky for me, I was always the believer. I was the girl who believed in all the fairy tales and all the mystical creatures and magic. I believed in and do believe in anything esoteric. So I didn't need 5 pieces of scientific evidence to be convinced that something like this works. Even though I didn't know even what is energy healing, I did not know all the different modalities that are out there. I didn't grow up with any kind of that stuff in my house, but I was always ready to try it out. I've had Reiki sessions for myself personally many years back, because it was something new, it was exciting, and I wanted to try it out. I was like, let's check it out, let's see how it feels. And I felt the energy even on my first Reiki session. I've always felt energy. I just didn't know it. And I felt it flow through me. I felt things happening in my heart area. I didn't know there was a heart chakra. I didn't know about chakras. I didn't know anything, and it didn't matter. I still felt it, and I felt amazing after. And I'm like, okay, this is beautiful. And then I forgot about it for a few years. And then I went to say around September, October 2020, so thick in the middle of COVID, the first year, it kind of started coming back to my conscious mind again. I started thinking about it. Every time I would go online doing some research or reading up on some stuff, I would hit upon Reiki articles or Reiki websites or random Reiki energy related sites or links that would just pop up. And I would go there because I'm always curious. I would go click on it, I would read upon it. Then I would shut it and forget it and go back to my usual work. And then it would happen again. And it would happen again. And this happened for 2, 3 months. So I would click on it, and that's how I found my first teacher. And so I never even considered thinking of becoming a Reiki practitioner because I thought you had to be born a certain way, you had to be psychic since birth, or you had to have special magical powers, or be a medium, or be some, you had to have certain gifts already to even be able to do this. I had no idea anyone and everyone can do it and get attuned and actually be able to use the energy and feel the energy and send the energy. It's as simple as your intention. And once the moment I found that out, I could not stop thinking about it. It didn't leave my brain. Day and night, it was in my face. I'm like, okay, I'll think about it, set it aside. Nope, it was not going to be set aside. It's back in my brain. And it would still, the hints, the signs would keep coming on my computer until I was like, fine, I'm just gonna sign up. I wasn't thinking about it. I just went on so much faith. Like I said, I'm just gonna sign up and then we'll see. And I'm not doing this to create a business or make money out of this. Like I said, I signed up. I'm gonna get the attunement. I'm gonna be able to send some Reiki to my parents. And that was all I thought. So that I can help them. Life-changing, insanity. It is so much more than what I went in with thinking, imagining that this could be for me. It's been life-changing. I don't remember a time before Reiki. I don't know what I did back then. I can't remember how I filled my days before Reiki. And if people think that, oh, I'm not going to have time to do this, or when am I going to add this to my daily routine? I'm already full. Every hour is accounted for. The time's going to show up. Time is going to come. You're going to find time it's naturally going to open up for you if that's what is truly meant for you. If that's what you need at this point, it's going to happen. Other things just disappeared, like they fell away. Things that weren't aligned, things that I didn't need anymore going forward, it just falls away. People just disappear if they're not, somebody who's aligned with your current progress or growth, or if they're not what you need. Nothing happens, nothing dramatic happens, no fights happen, but they just kind of disappear from your life, not in a bad way, but in a very gentle way. So Reiki just makes that space for you, for the new to come in, for new resources, for new helpful people to come in that you need for your next level of evolution, for your soul to grow. So just like people come in and people leave, same other things that you were doing, your chores, certain things just fall away and it's no longer important and it's no longer a priority. And suddenly a couple of hours open up in your day that you thought you never had before. And now you can do your Reiki, you can do your practice, you can do self-Reiki, even if you're doing nothing else and you're not looking to create a business, doesn't matter. If that's what you need personally, that space will open up. Which is fantastic, Things that were important to me even last year, so many things, it just simply isn't anymore. And it's okay. It's not important and in a painful way or in a way that's making me feel guilty or anything. It's all good. And people around you also, they're fine with it. My family is fine with it. It all becomes aligned for you. If that's your true path and you're on it and you want to walk that path, the universe will make it happen for you. It just comes together in so many ways. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's so beautiful to hear how the synchronicities lined up for you, and like
Yeah.
to finally try Reiki more seriously, aside from the sessions, you had already been open to actually take that first training and just kind of, oh, like I'll see what happens. And then Reiki is removing those blocks, so effortlessly to that first training. And then afterwards, really, as you were speaking, I was seeing how the layers of the culturally created self are also, the physical layers that you were speaking to of, people or relationship dynamics that are part of those layers, part of that conditioning, part of what's, more artificial, not serving your highest good. And yeah, chores, hobbies, etc., whatever they are, and those just falling away as Reiki is healing, like these layers that, it's easy to maybe think about them in the aura, but seeing them externally manifested in life too, that connection really came through as you were speaking, like very clearly. And how, I can't agree with you enough about how when Reiki does the releasing and the letting go, it's just like it's effortless, it's peaceful, it's not dramatic. If anything, if it could have been a dramatic situation that then is shrunk down to like a very like manageable, like, oh, a few words are exchanged, but they're exchanged, from a place of groundedness and presence rather than just reactivity and kind of energy spraying out all over the place, kind of
Right.
making more karma, making a mess to clean up.
That's how beautiful the energy is. Even as we are taught in our trainings, the spirit releases. There are so many kinds. It's not just energetic, right? It's even manifests physically. And the release is always so gentle for all concerned, not just yourself. That's what is beautiful about it, that it's not an upheaval. Even though major shifts are happening, it's not it's not an earthquake. It's fine. It's a gentle little movement and then it's gone, which is nice because you don't have to, it's not something you have to take a few days off for to recover from. You're fine.
Well, could you speak to how Reiki enriches your life personally,
How does it
professionally,
not?
otherwise? Yeah, wherever you want to go with that one.
I think personally, for myself, I have realized how my reactions to everyday situations have changed, everyday stresses with children or just getting them to do stuff that they are supposed to be doing. Before there was a lot more frustration, anger, yelling, and now it's more just I'm more at peace with a lot of things not going my way, which before I wouldn't be. And I would get very aggravated and I would hold on to that for a longer time. For days, I would be mad longer. And nowadays, because I have Reiki on all the time, I am not turning it on and turning it off. It is never off. It is always on. So I'm always in the energy, even when I'm sleeping. I sleep to Reiki, I wake up to Reiki. And it's so beautiful that it's not something you have to consciously even do. Just your mere intention of wanting to do that is enough. And I know I'm engulfed with it. So that has really created that shift in my reaction to everyday small little things, where even if I got upset, I can come back to that state of centered in seconds, in minutes, as compared to before when it would take me a couple of days and I would stew in it and be mad about it. And the more I thought about it, the more upset I would get. That just went away. It doesn't happen anymore. That doesn't mean the problem went away. That still needs to be worked on. However, just because my energy has shifted on how to deal with that problem also makes me realize how it was not that big of a problem to begin with. So like I said, it shrinks down the drama, the what we think is a huge deal, and you realize nothing really is. It's all okay. The tiny little bumps, and they can be very easily resolved simply because you're coming at it from a state of centeredness and calmness as opposed to aggravated, hyper, mad. So that was a major personal shift for me. For my family, they also see the change in me, so they behave differently now. They were also reacting to my reactions. So it's truly really changed the dynamic of our relationship, wherein they are also listening better because I am not raising my voice and yelling at them. I am also talking to them in a way that they are able to understand. So that change, and that change peters out to everyone else. It's like it radiates out to your other relationships, your friends or people outside, or your professional relationships, because they can feel it. You know, you can feel people's vibe. Everyone can. Like you get a good vibe, a calm vibe, it's a creepy vibe. It's people, even if they're not physically and consciously aware of it, that their subconscious feels it, they get it. So now when your vibe is already changed and you're coming from a place of peace and love and compassion, their reaction automatically changes as well, even without them consciously trying to do it, which is what I see day to day, every day, which is amazing. Professionally, that has helped me because I am not going at this now that I've started my business and I want to teach Reiki and do Reiki. I am not going at it with the intention of just making money as a business. And so I'm coming at it from such a place of relaxation because I'm not stressed out over making X amount of money in X amount of time. I'm okay. I'm trying to just surrender to the divine plan. Now that I even know there is a divine plan, so many things that came to my consciousness after I received Reiki. I didn't know. I knew, you know, you hear these things, but I didn't really believe in them. I didn't believe in divine plans or divinely ordered, or that all of these things happen for a reason and you have to surrender to it and have that faith and trust that it's going to work out all right for you. That took some deconditioning. Reiki is doing that for me, for us, in its own gentle, beautiful way. And I know that just more beautiful things are going to open up because of me being open to this, simply by being open to this, open to receiving and open to revealing what there is to be revealed. So every day I learn something new with Reiki that may not even be Reiki related, but Reiki brings it to my conscious mind. So now I realize that I needed this in my life, or I already always had it and I wasn't using it. That's the richness that I want to share with the Reiki community, with my future students, my clients, that it's not that you do 3 Reiki sessions and then all your problems have disappeared, but it's how it changes your way of being. It's like a lifestyle shift. You know how people say, I'm going to become vegan, or I'm going to not eat meat anymore. And if you're going at it from because you have a goal to reach, or you have X amount of weight to lose or something like that. This isn't that. This is that entire lifestyle change where it just becomes a way of being. That becomes your everyday. Like you wake up in the morning and you brush your teeth every day. You don't do it for 7 days just to fix a day and then stop brushing your teeth. It's normal. You don't think about it. Reiki can and does enrich our life every day, all the time. And that becomes a way of life, which has been the most fantastic thing for me. So Like I've mentioned to you before, Taylor, my goal is I feel every household needs at least one Reiki person. That's what I visualize. That's what I envision. One Reiki person minimum in every household. And then you'll see the change in the entire world. Like it's going to be amazing. It's going to be beyond amazing. It's going to be magical. Then magic becomes part of your everyday life. It becomes normal. It's not magic because it happened once in a blue moon. It's every day. It's normal. Why can't that happen? Of course it can happen.
I
That's
get
how
a visual when you say that, like the world, and I saw like this like the energy going like a cross of white light, and then uh yeah, just the whole world lit up, right? Like all these
right?
points of light. And I know it's already doing that because the Reiki community is global, is international, is everywhere. And people holding this frequency, like that's enough.
That's
That's
all they need to
plenty.
do. They
Don't
don't
I
have to
even have to do sessions or teach class or whatever,
exactly.
talk about it, just like embodying it.
Yeah.
This is extremely powerful and magical.
Yeah.
Like you're saying. Could you talk more about Reiki magic, please?
Some of the magic that I have seen and felt is the whole meeting my light team, my spirit support team. For me, for my family, one of the biggest, most traumatic events in our life was me losing my brother very suddenly 16 years back, overnight, just like that. There was no time. We had no time to do anything. And then it took me 16 years to be at this point today where since I received Reiki, I have finally now got back in touch with my brother, who I thought had left, but he had never left. He was always here, and I just didn't know it. And that to me has been the biggest magical miracle of my life, where that has also shifted my grieving or my loss and this trauma for me, because it shifts that energy from just being focused on grief and loss to something much more beautiful in a way, because I know he's there. He's here guiding me. He's here every day. And I'm not just saying that, uh, I know that because I see him, feel him. I see him in my Reiki session. I know it. I'm claircognizant, so I have this inner knowing. That's one of my gifts that's very strong right now. And so I ask a question and I just hear the answer in my head. And I know many times that it's come from him because it's so specific. And I know that that's him. And that's just one of them. I met my grandmother. I saw her. I was doing an ancestral line clearing and releasing session, and I saw her physically clearing our line, our ancestral line. Like in the vision, I saw her clearing, like almost like road construction going on, like clearing the road. She was clearing the line along with me. It was such a powerful, powerful session. And that vision of that it could not be any more clearer, that they are here, our ancestors are here, choosing to help us, wanting to help us. We just have to invite them in. We have to be open to it, and we have to do the work. And in this case, the work is simply inviting them in, calling on Reiki, calling on the energy, and being ready to do it and being open to it. There is no other much work. It's easy. It's amazing. The magic is how easy it is. Those experiences for me, during those experiences, during Reiki sessions, during receiving Reiki from others, or even during doing self Reiki for myself, those have been my big magic miracles that I needed even to even make my belief stronger. Every time I have one of those experiences, it just reaffirms my faith that I'm not crazy. I believe in this for a reason. This is real. This is happening. They're there and they're working and helping us. We just have to want it. We just have to ask for it. So for me, that has been huge, a huge change in mine. And I'm trying to teach that to all my friends and family who will listen. And they may be rolling their eyes behind my back right now, but I know that even if two people or even one person opens up their mind a little bit more and just, realizes that just even being open to that realm of possibility, that's something that we don't know about, can be happening. Just because it's not physically seen in front of my eyes doesn't mean that it's not existing. That doesn't mean that it's not happening in our energy, in our environment. So just even being open to that realm of possibility is a win for me if I can have even one person feel that way, after they find out. Most of them don't know, just like I didn't know, because I wasn't taught that by my parents. They didn't teach me because they didn't know. So it's, people need to just start talking about it more, or even just be open to it. And that's what my goal is to do. It's not to get 50 sessions under my belt or 100 sessions under my belt. It's to light that little flame of being open to that possibility, to that realm. And that's going to bring in so much magic into each person's life. It's incredible. And I want to do that. I want to bring that magic in each person's life, like I received it, like it came to my life.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I mean, I'm one of these people. It's so powerful. I think many things are flowing through my mind, but many people come to Reiki and like they want to meet their guides. So it's wonderful to hear that for you, that definitely happened. And they were, family members who had passed. And
Yeah.
I can even confirm, from my first session for you, seeing a small boy, knowing it wasn't your child, but it was someone else. And I had no idea about your
You did
brother
not know.
passing or anything. And that, you've said that other practitioners have seen this and how validating it is to know that, have that claircognizance, and then have it validated by, multiple other people you're inviting.
Complete strangers.
Right. That don't have any idea.
They don't know me. We've never met before. We have met on a Zoom session in a class, and there's no way on earth they could possibly be knowing this. Even the hardest of skeptics would have trouble remaining skeptical if you had such an experience. And over, not just once, not just one run, but over and over multiple times. Yeah. That is huge. That is a huge validation for my own faith, for my own belief in this energy, and that it works and that it's real. Because it's true, we're all humans, and we do need that, that little bit of smidgen of proof. As much as we want to be complete believers, it helps. It's nice to get that actual physical evidence, and it will come to you. You have to be open to it. You will receive that evidence. You will receive the proof. You will receive things that will, like, there is no way you could not believe after that. How can I not believe now after seeing all these things and hearing all the things that I have heard and seen, not just myself, even if I doubted my own self that, oh, this is just my brain playing stories. No, there's been you, there's been all the other practitioners and other students, not even practitioners, students, first timers, our first practice session, first time students sending Reiki to me and receiving messages from my brother. So you can't say that, oh, they've been doing this for 10 years. They were born psychics. They're born mediums. No, they are as normal as nobody's as you and me, and doing it for the first time, and magic can happen. It's been incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so beautiful. Yeah, I know. I want to hopefully bring you back on at some point and we can talk about, because one thing that Mishti's doing that's so amazing is combining Feng Shui and space magic, the space of your home, with Reiki, and how this combination is so very
It's
powerful.
wild.
Yeah. If is there What would you say to someone who's considering a Reiki session or a class, or any type of Reiki experience?
I think the number one thing we do as humans is overthink everything. So my first piece of advice to anyone considering a class or even a simple session is don't overthink it. Try it out one time. Try a session out. See how it feels. You may not even feel anything physically. Again, as human beings, we feel that we need to physically feel 3 kinds of sensations, or have 4 kinds of experiences, or see 5 different colors of light, or else the session was a complete failure. No, it wasn't. Reiki works so amazingly and so necessarily within our subconscious mind as well. And sometimes it does it because that's where the actual healing needs to happen. And sometimes it does not need to bring it to your conscious mind, to your conscious level, because you don't need to be made aware of it for it to be released, for it to be healed. You don't have to go through the trauma again for you to feel that you have released it or healed it. It's okay. Let Reiki do the work for you. So just trusting that Reiki can and does also clear and heal things on a subconscious level. So you may think, I just fell asleep and took a nap and didn't feel or see anything. That's okay. If you've never had a spiritual practice before, if you've never been into meditation before, and you're not accustomed to quietening your mind or going deep and just, letting go of all your daily to-do list and things like that. If you've never done that before, you may find it hard, you will find it hard to do that suddenly, even for a Reiki session. So you may, if that's your first time ever having any kind of a spiritual or energy meditation practice or work, it may need a few sessions before you can even start to quietening your mind. I know I'm still working on it. It's not people, I think people, and I know I was guilty of that in the past. I could not meditate even for a few minutes. And I thought, unless I was doing Dalai Lama level of meditation, that no other thought was coming into my head. Unless I was doing that, I was doing it wrong. And that's not true. Of course, thoughts are going to come into your head. Of course, 50 other things, mundane things are going to come into your head. I was thinking about what vegetables I need to buy.
Oh, yeah.
When I'm meditating. And then I'm also going, what is wrong with me? Nothing. It's perfectly normal. And it's just that practice of bringing it back to your breath. Again, it's those learnings that you need to know, that someone needs to tell you, or it needs to come to your conscious mind, so that you know that you cannot do it wrong. That's the most amazing thing about it. You can't do it wrong. Just wanting to do it, just having the intention of wanting it is enough that things are shifting. So that first thing is not overthinking it. It will also feel right. If it's about something of a deeper commitment, let's say you want to do a Reiki level 1 and 2 class. You say, I want to try this energy for myself. I want to do self Reiki, and you want to get attuned to it. The the feeling of just feeling right and the feeling that I need to do this or it's not going to go away from your conscious mind. Trust me, you won't be able to forget about it. It will keep popping back into your head over and over till you take some action on it. If that's what you're meant to do, and the right teacher will also come to you. You don't need to go hunting. I didn't go hunting for 50 teachers. I didn't go make a list, research 20 people, and then sign up and pick one. She just came to me. Her information, her details just came to me. And there was no doubt in my head that I need to do this. And yes, you have to take that leap of faith. You have to take that step. That definitely, that is the action. You can't just do all the meditation and then sit back and say, why am I not manifesting? You still have to do the work. In this case, that work is taking that step and signing up and then see the magic that unfolds. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
free will.
free will.
That's free will. There has to be that consent in order to receive what can be received.
Yeah, Reiki can't force itself on you and won't. You
No.
can't forcibly send Reiki to someone who does not want to receive, who is not open to it. So that free will, that consent has to be given in whichever way. And your soul will let you know. You will give the consent if that's what you're meant to do. It will happen in one way or another. I can truly vouch for that. I am I love technology. I love science. I'm a science student. I'm a chemistry major, believe it or not. So I've been in that state of mind where, yeah, I need proof, I need evidence. Show me the proof. So it's not that I was born, being this way and going like crazy woo, for lack of a better word. However, there's been so many things that have come to my conscious memory and so many things that have happened, so many beautiful things align themselves. Travel happens. Things that I've been thinking, I manifested my home the way I wanted it. I wanted a house with natural light. Things that I was doing without even realizing I was doing it or visualizing it way before I had Reiki or even knew about Reiki. So when you're aligned with something and if it's right for you, it's going to happen at the right time. And when you keep seeing that over and over, and now that I'm aware of it and I'm doing it consciously, it's happening even more. It's bringing in so many synchronicities, so many signs that it's beautiful. I love being in that feeling, that energies every day. So for me, today I know that's my intuition, that's my higher self sending me these messages. Nothing is random. Nothing is just a coincidence. Even realizing that was such a huge progress for me, that it's not just a coincidence. It never is. And just being okay with that and being open to that itself is that Reiki energy doing the work before you've even taken the class, right?
Well, because you've attuned your 3-year-old self. So, like, of course.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, the magical quality of life that happens. And then your advice also to just not overthink it, follow the signs, follow the synchronicities. They will keep coming to you. You can keep ignoring them, and that's fine. That's your choice. That's your free will. But also it might totally change your life for the better if you don't ignore those signs and you actually take some action that may feel like a leap of faith, but on the other side of that leap of faith is like the reality of you and your life beyond your wildest, most heartfelt dreams and desires could also be there. So
Absolutely.
it was powerful. And I love too hearing what you're saying about nothing being a coincidence and understand it's not coincidence, it's synchronicity. And it's one thing to hear that and like intellectually, okay, like kind of know that, but to really like embody that and invite that awareness into your experience, this is profound and this is life changing, and it brings that magical quality of life into the everyday daily reality, the small things. Was there anything you'd like to share about your offerings, where people can find you and connect with you more?
Sure. So I launched my website last year, and it's called anuraga.com, which again has a very, very personal connection to me. Um, Anuraga is a Sanskrit word for love, a higher love, a divine love. And my brother's name was derived from that word. His name was Anurag. And so there was no question in my mind that I was going to name my Reiki business Anuraga after him, to honor him, because he's also part of it. He is here guiding me, being my light. And so we're doing this together. So that is my website. I have just launched Reiki classes recently, so I am open and booking those as I am booking sessions for whoever is interested. So thank you so much, Taylor.
I will link the website below, everything. You're on Instagram as well.
I'm on Instagram. I am on Google. You can Google Anuraga Reiki and it does pop up. It's remote, it's distant Reiki. So that's the great thing about it. I am in California, but I am not necessarily stuck to just being local, because anyone from any time zone can literally do this. Another magical quality about Reiki, time and space doesn't matter, like we mentioned before, but it truly doesn't matter even for each session or a class. I can be sending Reiki at one time and you can be receiving it at a different time, at whatever time suits you, and it works. It is fine. There is time and space has no meaning in the quantum field, and this is a quantum energetic connection. And it's amazing. You have to try it once. I do have these free Reiki shares I do every Sunday. So that's also a great way to come experience the energy for no commitment. If you just want to try it out, you've never had a Reiki session before, that's a great way to test it. If it is aligned for you, you'll see other shifts and other alignments and other things opening up. You'll suddenly find space to take that Reiki class. You'll suddenly find time to book that, if you should so choose, and if that's what's meant for you at this time, it will happen. So that's definitely something you can try out.
I can vouch. The Reiki shares are great. You were taking us through the chakras too, which was really powerful. So much wisdom and healing and potential within each of those energy centers. And your Reiki shares are very beginner friendly as well. So very good for all levels, practitioners from master level to I don't even know what Reiki is. It's okay.
Right.
Or what a chakra is. It's okay.
Right. Yeah, it's for all levels. You could be a Reiki master yourself, and it's still nice to receive. And you could have never even heard of the word Reiki, and you'll still have a beautiful, relaxing, stress-free experience, even if that's all you need and nothing else. Even if you just want to have 45 minutes of relaxation.
So powerful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, are there any parting words of wisdom or encouragement you would like to leave our viewers with, or listeners?
I want to give a shout out to Taylor Norris and her Reiki. Again, having received many, many sessions from you, Taylor. You are wild. You are amazing. It's magic. It's pure magic. Just going through a session with you. It truly is. And all the messages that you receive, and you receive so much People have no idea what they're missing if they haven't had a session with you. I truly, truly urge everyone to try out at least once, and you will not stop because it's magical. And it's so helpful. It's so practical. It's not just, oh, do more meditation and do more journaling. It's actual practical insights and messages that you share with us, that you share with me after every session that I can actually do and incorporate in my daily life, which is fabulous. It's not all up in the air. It's not all out there where, it's very practical. We can use these things in our daily life and add them to our any ritual that we do. By ritual, I even mean your little bedtime ritual where you take 5 minutes for yourself to brush your teeth, change your clothes, take a few cleansing breaths, and give gratitude. A ritual can be as simple as that. I think people get scared when they hear the word ritual because they think it has to be this huge, elaborate process. It could be as simple as 60 seconds of just closing your eyes and saying thanks for one thing in your life. And if you do that every day, now that's a ritual.
Thank you. Thank you for that beautiful reflection and surprise shout out. I appreciate that
Thank
a lot. It has been such a joy working with you and giving and receiving with you. Reiki is so practical. And I think if anything like that, through working with you and exchanging with you, that comes through. It's so relevant to each of us. It's so practical. It's so everyday, and like the magic isn't somewhere else. It's happening here in the everyday. The Reiki isn't, somewhere else. I mean, it is, but it's also happening, right here and now,
It's within
every day. In these rituals, little things. That's where the magic is, because we are magic, each of us. So powerful. Well, thank you so much for being here. I think this is the first conversation of at least another one that we can share with others. Yeah.
Absolutely.
We always have the greatest talk. So thank you
for
so
doing
much.
this. This is such a great idea. This is incredible. And just chatting about Reiki is doing a lot. It's spreading that word, spreading the light out there. And the people who need to hear it will hear it.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Thank you. Aho, amen, namaste. And so it is. Mahalo. It's on. Reiki on.